Okay, here we go. Let's let's find out if Kingdom Hearts 3 any better on the hardest difficulty. That's today's goal. Okay, so what we're going to do is really quite simple. We're going to select the absolute hardest, like every choice that we get to make the game harder, we're taking. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're not going to carry over anything. We're gonna select critical. Yeah, the brightness is fine. Okay, yeah, we are doing the absolute maximum to make this game as hard as possible. That's our goal today. Now you might be asking, why am I playing this instead of streaming literally any of my other series active? And the answer is, I felt like it. This is a weird time to stream for me anyway, so I didn't really want to continue anything else I was already doing, and this seemed like a fun idea, so here we are. And I'll be honest, I forgot I needed to press X to end loading screens in this. And I'll be honest, like that's where I'm at right now. I'm just doing whatever I feel like. If you're wondering why I'm streaming at 11:30, it's because I took a nap earlier and slept for like 3 more hours than I meant to. So I'm not really that tired. So here we are. While this intro cutscene is playing, I'm going to grab I'm gonna do some things real quick. And by do some things, I mean I'm just gonna tweet out that I'm streaming. That's really it. It's very simple, really. Okay, so let's see. Grab the link to my page.
Have you heard of the ancient Keyblade War?
You're curious why the game's so quiet?
Of course I have.
It's because I don't want this to get copyright claimed
Long ago,
for the music, so I'm deliberately making it a little quieter. And the music's not the focus anyway. I'm here for the gameplay today.
I wonder what they planned on doing with Kingdom Hearts after making it appear. Who knows? I don't get why anyone would initiate a war. So,
but yeah, let's see. Other announcements. I'm gonna try and be streaming more over the next few weeks. We'll see. Student teaching's keeping me really busy, so we'll see how busy it keeps me. I honestly don't know.
Where'd you hear about
I'll be doing my best though.
Or they're the ones for whom the war started. I'm not following you. You can drop the facade. Facade? On that land shall darkness prevail and light expire.
I have now successfully made a tweet.
If you say so.
I'm so proud of myself for managing to tweet successfully.
The future.
I did it. Okay,
Really? I'm not so sure about that.
Now I'll go.
Besides, who's to say?
Yeah, so this is more than just critical. I'm turning on every single difficulty option the game will give me. Everything.
But things aren't in
Master God, I don't care. Anytime I get a choice to make the game harder, that's what I'm picking. And we'll see how it stands up to that. Because there were a lot of complaints when it came out and I shared them that the game was just too easy. So, you know, they were like, well, we have a critical mode now and we can make the game harder. And I want to know, did that actually fix anything? Did that actually make it any better? Let's find out. I sometimes forget how long the intro to this game was. So I guess while this is going, I'm gonna talk about my impressions of the game the first time around, which was overall, I thought it was okay. It was still like a decent game, but it wasn't what I wanted from Kingdom Hearts 3. And there were a lot of reasons for that. The biggest was just that I didn't like the way it wrapped up the story. But the gameplay being so easy did really contribute to a lot of the game felt like a slug the first time through. Exploring the worlds was a lot of fun to me because I like that kind of gameplay. But battle encounters, I was so happy once I could just spam Thundaga and end all of them. Because the encounters felt like a slog until that point. Because they weren't hard, I didn't have to think, but they also weren't... It wasn't very satisfying just mashing X, you know? Like, there are hack and slash games that are not hard, but still manage to have satisfying gameplay. And this wasn't one of them, and I'll probably talk a bit, I'll probably point some things out about the way the system works for why that is. Because I'm fairly confident that playing it on the absolute hardest difficulty will only make the flaws of the battle system more apparent. There's a reason they didn't make it as hard originally. There's no doubt in my mind that that was a conscious decision. No. But yeah, I can turn up the game a little bit. Let me... There, the game's a little louder now. But yeah, so my overall feelings for the game originally were that it was good, but that it was disappointing. Because I wanted something that was as good as Kingdom Hearts 2. And we didn't get that. And now that could be part of that's definitely that Kingdom Hearts 2 is a game I played a ton as a kid. So like I'm not gonna say I'm not biased on that one, because there's no way to separate my bias for Kingdom Hearts 2, because like Kingdom Hearts 2 is overall a really great game, but not even with my bias can I defend the opening. But I think that's one of the things that was most disappointing about this is this opening is what I wanted Kingdom Hearts 3 to be. I think that's the best way to express how I felt about this game. This opening was what I wanted from this game, and it didn't deliver. You know? Like it's not a bad game, but it does not deliver on the emotions that this opening made me feel the first time I watched it. And like that was the problem with it. Is this opening made me so hyped going into the game, and then the actual game was okay. Like, it's not that the game is bad, but this set my expectations so high. I don't think I don't think the base of the combat was the problem. I'll talk more about it because I'll be able to give examples of it. But the fundamental problem with Kingdom Hearts combat is that the Kingdom Hearts 3 combat in particular, because the other games are pretty good combat wise, is that Kingdom Hearts 3 does too much for you. And because it does it for you, it doesn't always do it right, and that's a problem. Also, I will forever be utterly bummed that the Remind and Melody of Memory deconfirmed the they officially refuted what was my favorite theory about this game, which was the sleeping world theory. I loved that as a theory as an explanation for the way this game's story is, and then Remind and Melody of Memory were just like, no, that's not the case, and I was so bummed. Yeah, this line at the beginning is never really explained. There are 7 hearts to save, but at this point there aren't 7 hearts to save. At the point at which this scene is happening, there are not currently 7 hearts to save. There will be later in the game, but right now there aren't. And usually when I think what throws me off is that that's not in future tense. If it said something like you will need to save 7 hearts, I would be more okay with it. Is it? Well, yeah, what I'm saying is that there's not 7. I think are there 7 when he actually does the time travel thing. I think there are 7 then, but I'm not confident on that because it's been a long time since I played. But regardless, there definitely aren't 7 right now. That's absolutely true. There just isn't. Like there definitely are not 7 at this moment. What do I desire? Please let me actually choose. I forget what these options are. This is balance. No. This is physical strength and this is magic. So this isn't the EXP one. The EXP one's next. So magic is the better choice here, but we want to make the game hard. So let me actually look up what these choices actually do real quick because I don't remember. Okay, controls starting HP and MP. Which actually means the vitality is probably the better choice for high difficulty. Okay, so this just affects your starting ability, your starting stats. That's all it does. So I think the worst starting stat layout is wisdom, because after this, you're correct, Master God. Stream without talking to is kind of boring. Because after this is when we make the decision about which abilities to get. They separated base stats from abilities, so we'll pick wisdom and then pick either defense or something like that. Let's see. You don't get any level 1 abilities from this next choice, so it doesn't matter. It's literally completely irrelevant because you know that we're turning on EXP 0 as soon as the game lets us, right? So it really doesn't matter. So I'll just go with Mystic because it's what I feel like. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's entirely irrelevant. Because for every fight that matters at all, we will be level 1. Which, let me just say, I think that's a really cool thing. The way pro things work in this game, I actually really like them. I think they're really cool. This is gonna be a hard run. There's no denying that. I'm not entirely sure I'll finish it, but I will give it my best try. We'll see. I'll probably finish it eventually. It'll just take a while. Anyways, we're taking challenging adventure because, you know, I hate myself. Or something. Yes. This is the path I seek. Okay, so as soon as it lets me, I'm going to open up that menu and turn all of those challenges to on. For the rest of the game. I'm never turning them off. We're just leaving them on. Yeah, the challenges are new with I think it's with the same patch they added critical. I'm not certain about that though. I'm not entirely certain if that's Remind or if, I'll probably be watching story just because it's been like 2 years for me, and honestly I could use the update on what actually happens in this game. But if I get bored, I will be skipping scenes. But chances are I'll watch most of it, just because I never recorded my commentary on the story, so I guess I can just make commentary on everything as it's going. That commentary will be somewhat negative, because that is how I feel about the story of this game. But hey. But yeah, so I'll probably be watching a lot of the story in this game. Gosh darn it. Okay, it does let me turn on pro codes. Okay, so you get points for doing this, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for how hard this can be. So let's look at what this does. First, default status. This is EXP 0 without EXP 0. I actually love this as a concept because it means that you can chicken out of EXP 0 whenever you want. Or after chickening out, decide that no, you will do that, and you can just turn it on. Anyway, so whole team's defense is set to 0. Your HP just automatically goes down. Your MP just automatically goes down. You can't use shot locks. Can't use healing magic. Can't use items. Can't use links. Can't use form changes or grand magic. Can't use attractions. Can't use team attacks. Can't use Koopa coins. And can't use ability limit. Or can only use 30 abilities on Sora. So like, this is pretty limited. I will say, that we will be turning on EXP 0 because you do need to do that. Get over here, jerk face. Aha, I've done it. Every once in a while my capture card stutters a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. Prepare and retry. Oh gosh darn, it still doesn't let me access the menu. Oh, fine. I was gonna try and use that to see if I could turn EXP 0 on, but whatever, it's not gonna let me, it's fine. It's completely fine. It can just keep me from doing EXP 0. I don't really care. Also, can we talk about how Sora just gets to fly in this game? And if you think he doesn't, yeah, you just have the ability to fly, because you can indefinitely attack in midair and your attacks will always carry you towards enemies. I should probably actually avoid instead of making commentary on the battle system. That's actually going to be a key feature because you don't have any of Sora's other abilities. So the fact that your attacks can let you fly will be really important actually. Normally that'd just be a, hey, that's funny kind of thing, but in this case, it will be key to our whole strategy. Okay, gotta actually avoid this attack instead of just taking it. But yeah, so the biggest benefit that you have, oops. So remember when I said I should actually avoid that attack? I actually meant I'm going to go get hit with it. Hold up a second, guys. I thought I meant I was going to avoid it, but I clearly proved that that was not the case. But okay, let's... I like I was just doing the slow overhand hit. I don't like that. There we go. That's better. Waited too long to move. Oops. Anyways, let's see. We have dodge roll base and we have air dash base. Okay. Just don't mind me checking out what I can do just at a base level without having to do anything else. Wait. Okay. That's the other thing about this battle system that I noticed on normal that's going to be really obnoxious in this, which is this is what I was talking about when I was saying that this battle system does too much for you, and that's fundamentally one of the reasons why it doesn't work as a in the way that the other Kingdom Hearts games do. So this battle system will move two enemies for you. Like you have really strong magnet on attacks. Like you will magnet right to enemies, and that sounds like a good thing until you realize that the game doesn't check if magneting would put you into an attack. And the magnet, because it's interacting with so much geometry that the player can't see, feels random. It's not actually random, but it definitely feels that way. And that has the unfortunate side effect of being I don't need the other tutorials. But that's the unfortunate side effect of being really annoying when you die in one hit. On a normal playthrough, it's still annoying because it means your combos get randomly broken because you dodged into an attack, or not dodged into that, because you attacked into another attack. And yeah, because there's so many things that you can't parry in this game. Does this game even have parrying? Honestly, I don't remember if I really ever parried any moves. Either way, but my point of this is that the way that the combat system works will magnet you into attacks randomly, which adds a unfortunate element of luck. Now it's not actually luck, but the geometry that determines where you magnet to is hidden from the player for the most part, because it doesn't match up with the visuals, and that makes it feel random unless you spend the time to analyze every enemy's collision boxes and get your knowledge of them to the point that you can do that in real time, which is a real challenge.
Got it. You can count on us to take care of Sora.
But yeah, that's the fundamental problem. Also, can we talk about how contrived it is that nearly being possessed by Xehanort just apparently removed all of Sora's power? Like, I'm pretty sure Xehanort didn't want to remove all of his power. It'd be much more reasonable if Sora had to deal with suddenly having dark powers, but the fact that he's now weakened doesn't really make sense, because from Xehanort's point of view, he wanted someone powerful to possess. If Sora had to go strengthen his light magic in particular, that would make more sense, because yeah, Xehanort probably doesn't he's a bit into the darkness side of the skill tree, you know?
Didn't Master Yen Sid say that Sora should trust the guidance his heart gives?
Come on, Sora! Which way? Hey! Would you get serious?
Give me a break. I'm trying. These things take time.
Well, since
But
we've
yeah,
already been before, why don't you try picturing our friends like we're there?
not sure what else to. I want to comment something on the story, but I'm not sure what to say at this point.
Wow.
Sorry, I got nothing. What did you expect?
Also, can we talk about the fact that these three seem to be the only ones who have trouble getting from world to world?
Master Yen Sid always said that. Right before we went off on any
Everyone else just uses the Paths of Darkness with no problem, but these three have trouble with it.
Ring a bell?
Like, everybody else just shows up wherever they need to be.
May my heart
How are Riku and Mickey traveling around right now? Like, everybody else is fine.
I've got it.
Why does Sora have to figure out some special way to open up the path? I think they just wanted to slide in "May your heart be your guiding key" here. Because everybody else just casually opens gates whenever they need to. Like... Also, can we talk about what a great troll that is? I really, really want them to, on the next Kingdom Hearts, just actually call it Kingdom Hearts 3. That'd be so funny.
At long last, the time
Like,
had
that
come.
would be
The
hilarious.
planets were edging into perfect alignment.
No worries, Master God.
And the plan Hades devised 18 years ago was about to reach fruition.
Yeah,
The
so
fates had predicted this very future.
I will say
They
that
would seize control of
I think the
Olympus
biggest
and
problem
rule
with this
over all the
game's
cosmos.
one of the bigger problems with this game's story
Hades' previous
is that
attempts
the Disney
using
worlds
Terra,
don't matter.
Cloud, and Orin to
Every
advance
other
its
Kingdom
plans
Hearts
for
game
conquest.
had character
Failed.
growth going on
The
through
hour
the
was
Disney
not yet
worlds,
right.
but
But now
they
the
don't
planets
really
were
do
aligned,
that here.
and nothing could possibly go wrong.
Sora doesn't really
The wave of
contemplate
darkness
anything
slashed down from their
during these
celestial
Disney
realm.
worlds. He doesn't really learn
One
anything
Hades
through these
freed the
Disney
Titans
worlds.
From their prison.
Um,
Some of them, the same monstrosities.
the
that
only
Sora
one
and
where
his
he
friends
learns
had
anything
already
really
fought
is
the
Olympus
Festival
Coliseum.
before.
It's the opener. It's the
Both
opener.
the Titans and his longing for vengeance
But
against
especially the
Zeus
the
reinvigorated.
later worlds in the
Hades began
game,
his attack
he
on
doesn't
Olympus.
really grow as a character at all. He doesn't learn any new lessons. He doesn't change. Not even Donald and Goofy change. I just want someone to have some kind of character development here, because these Disney worlds are completely irrelevant to everything else going on in the game. It's like they're really only here for Sora to fight Heartless and get stronger. And at least if they phrased it that way, I might be more okay with it. If they said to Sora, look, you need to go around fighting. That's some weird stutter there, but whatever. You need to go around fighting and get stronger.
Fanfare?
Also, they can't be really saying that fanfare, that the usual intros are actually a real thing that they
Looks like we missed
experience,
the Colosseum.
right?
Sora, you opened the gate.
I was a little off again. Sorry. We'll find him. But we need to go.
Sora even know where he's going.
The mountain.
Yeah. Up is the usual direction.
Well, never hurts to have your head in the clouds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's my overall as far as addressing the problem with Disney worlds, that really is it. That Sora doesn't learn anything from any of these stories, neither do Donald or Goofy. So, and the game puts it like Sora needs to go
Sora,
and
we
learn
don't
something.
have time for side trips.
We have nothing but time. I forgot to turn on EXP 0. Hold up. I'm gonna need you guys to kill me real quick. You could do that for me, please. Thank you.
No way.
That took too long. Repair and retry. Okay, abilities. I assume, yeah, I have 0. I have EXP 0. here. Okay, there we go. We are level 1. I assume that locks their levels too. I have no definitive proof that this is the case, but I'm assuming that's the case. Okay, because it's the way it works in other games. I can't do form changes anyway, so it's irrelevant. Actually, that's a good point. Is anything here related to things I can't do? I don't need to be able to use items and healing magic on friends because I'm not allowed to use items or healing magic. Those are locked in with the pro codes, so magic lock on is useful. Super slide's useful. All the flow motion stuff is useful. All the flow motion stuff is useful. That's useful. That's useful. Wrist dodge is good. And you can only have one counter. So I think I like counter slash the best. We're going to assume I like counter slash the best. I might try out the others later. But okay, let's actually fight these enemies. Now that we have officially set the game to be as difficult as possible. Okay. Let's try out. How did that hit me? What? I was pretty far in the air when I got hit with that. I wonder if your hitbox lags behind a little bit when you do Rising Slash. Because otherwise, to me, that definitely looked like I was far enough in the air that Shockwave shouldn't have hit me. Okay, let's kill the flying jerks first, because once all the flying jerks are dead, I can just knock enemies into the air, like so, and then deal with them up there. Assuming that I don't get blocked by. Prepare to see that happen a lot. Where I just am not paying attention and miss something that's going on. It's the unfortunate reality of playing this while trying to make commentary, you know? The more I try and make commentary during this, the more that's going to happen. But I can't stop making commentary.
It can't be.
I'll be honest, I'm not even sure what hit me that time. I really don't know. Here, let me try something to start. It's called Use Magic. To thin out the crowd a little bit. I don't have any shortcuts set. I kind of assumed that it would set them, since I didn't have any shortcuts set. So let me just, also let me check something. That is good to know. Okay, yeah, it does save preparations that you do. Okay, shortcut set, fire, water. There we go. Okay, now that I actually have shortcuts set, let's beat up some enemies. I did select the one with more MP, so might as well use it. Especially since, if you... Gosh darn it. Especially since with the pro codes, I, will be constantly losing MP anyway, so I may as well just, whenever I have an MP bar, find somewhere safe and just lessen the amount of enemies I have to fight with MP. Okay, first thing we do is lessen the amount of flying enemies. Remember how to actually play the game well. That last one's less likely to happen, but bear with me. Not even close. Definitely was not inches from being hit by that. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm annoyed. I did not think it would turn like that. That's just unfortunate. Let's try. I should try out counter slash. That might be the play, to just counter everything. You can really tell that it's been a little bit since I played Kingdom Hearts 3 in particular, and a Kingdom Hearts game in general. I haven't been playing any hack and slashes recently, and it shows. So, like, yeah. I don't even have an explanation for that one. That was just me getting, you know, that was just, I was distracted by talking, didn't pay attention to the flying enemy that was off the screen, and got hit. No? I should remember that I can move while casting magic in this game, and always be doing that. Oh, so something I wanted to talk about was I think it'd be really interesting if one day an MMO came out that had I forgot they could do that in this game. Like, I just forgot that was an option that they had. I thought it was going to do the normal slow charge, then it just got me. But anyway, I think it'd be really interesting if there was an MMO that had as part of its premise that there was something that, like, just as part of its base level economy that bounces off of walls. I also forgot it did that. Learning something new with every death, even if that is just how bad I am at video games. But anyway, so what I was saying is I had a thought somewhere in there, and I honestly don't know what it was. Oh yeah, so what I was... I really need to stop talking. This is gonna be rough. Like, doing this while talking is gonna be rough. But anyway, so what I was saying, if I can actually finish my thought this time, is I think it'd be really interesting to design an MMO's system around something with the premise of, if you, like, let's say it's something like, the homing on that was better than I expected it to be.
No way.
I just got beamed from behind. But anyway, so design the premise, part of the premise of an MMO economy around the idea that, like, everybody has access to some giant magical thing that will let you duplicate, that will just let you effectively print any item that you've seen or earned, or something of that nature. Like, so you I think that's a really interesting concept, Obviously you'd have to have some conditions there in order to actually use that in an MMO, or you would have problems. I can't see the big boy. Scared. I'm not liking the camera. Can I change the camera settings? I'm not a fan. Anyways, what I was saying is you're probably gonna have to have some conditions on that. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what conditions it needs. No thank you, big boy. I would like to be somewhere where you in fact cannot reach me. Okay, I've gotten rid of just about everything but the big boy. There we go. Everything but the big boy is gone. We just got the big boy and his big belly to deal with. And once it's down to one enemy, I can just combo them. We don't get to do that. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I don't care. Free running. I've already played the game. I have to hunt for treasure. Ew. Hunting for treasure in this game is really annoying because I don't know what it is about the visuals of this game, but I found it really hard to see things that were further away. And I don't know if that's a me problem or if that's a game problem or some mixture, but I definitely had trouble with it. But anyway, so with MMOs, I think that a large part of what's fun to me is doing all of the content and collecting everything that I can. But every MMO limits the amount of stuff you can have, which makes sense from a data perspective, right? They have millions of players. That's not scalable. So that's the first big thing, is you have to use a solution for data.
Did I make a turn
If you're
at the
only
wrong
using
rock?
booleans, you can store that as just a long string of zeros and ones, which is 1 bit per every item, per every character that you allow to be created. So that's more, but not that bad, if that makes sense. It's not like a ridiculous amount of it's not a ridiculous amount, but it is a lot more data than a typical MMO would be storing on items. It's something that at this point data is becoming pretty cheap, so I actually expect that we'll start seeing MMOs with a lot less restriction on what you can store, because data is becoming cheap.
Really? 80s?
But I think it'd be really interesting to, if you had something like that where you could just duplicate any item. Obviously this would come at some cost, and that would probably be the main currency of your MMOs, whatever can be used to duplicate items. And you could probably make it like some central magical item that represents the main civilization of the world, where you put in all these materials and you get some energy back, some currency you can then use to make other items. But obviously it would cost a lot more to make an item than you would get from giving it one, right? You would need it, because otherwise that would be huge on inflation. But I would really like a system like that. You'd have to handle so many considerations, though. I don't think it'll ever happen, but as a player I would love a system like that. Even if there were a bunch of conditions on that, even if you could only copy items a certain number of times a day, just the idea that I could recreate any item I've seen so I don't have to worry about keeping any items would be so nice. Also, I will say I love that they actually expanded out Olympus Coliseum. I love that. I think that's really cool that they actually expanded this out. Like, I really like that. I am a bit disappointed that we didn't get the Coliseum itself back, but I am super excited about the fact that this
Sailing
existed.
right to where I left. No biggie.
Also, yeah,
Nice
he's gonna
work,
regret that
boys.
decision.
So, back to the whole cosmic coup thing.
But yeah, I think the
Really? Are you kidding? Jeez Louise.
I think
Seriously. When it
in
rains, it
MMOs
pours.
in particular,
Okay, who's the new
complete
guest?
a lot of completionists go
Hey,
towards
now, that
MMOs,
ain't
and that's
no
kind of what you
saying
want,
no,
right?
Especially to your old
You want
friend.
a lot of completionists playing your MMO.
Ah, perfect. Now I got to put up with you
Um,
too. Funny, I don't remember you doing me any memorable favors.
So
you can
the
keep
more
your heart for
completionists you have playing your
I'm
MMO,
going
the more
back to my
people you
original
have
plan,
doing end
alright?
level content, right?
So, toodaloo.
And so that's a
Take
really
this
good thing.
that
And so if
away.
you can collect
Hey,
every
it was
item, if
great
you can
seeing
do
ya.
everything,
Happy
that's a huge bonus to
We are not here for you.
people
I have
who
my own
are
business to attend to.
that's a huge
All I
bonus to
need to know is
completionists,
if
which
there
means
is
that
a
they're much more likely to
distinctive
stick around and play your MMO.
Black box somewhere in this
Obviously,
world.
anything you do
Black
like that
box,
will
huh?
have to have a lot of limitations and technical limitations, but I think it'd be a really cool MMO if it was designed around.
Don't tell me. You're after the one Zeus hit on Earth?
Possibly.
I think it'd be super interesting.
If I were, where might it be?
Because then you can have like a lot of the quests and everything all designed around the fact that this exists, right? I just think that would be really cool. And because it costs more to make stuff than you get back than you get for selling it, you still have room to have a player economy. But because you can duplicate any item, you have a hard capped the worth of any item, which has interesting effects. I'm not sure they're good. They're definitely interesting. Poor Donald.
See? Found him.
Yeah, I guess this counts.
Put me down.
Just a second.
Poor Donald. He will be remembered. I mean, what? Not fondly, but he will be remembered.
Donald, Goofy. You literally
Also,
dropped in.
can
Gotta
they
say,
please stop the tendency of
the
saying
catch.
all three of their
Yeah,
names
thanks,
one
Eric.
after the other?
But
They've been
What's
doing
going
that
on?
in... I know they were doing it in Kingdom Hearts 2. I think they did in Kingdom Hearts 1. Occasionally.
Take a
And they
guess.
do it every
Starts
time in
with
Kingdom
an
Hearts
H.
3, and I am so
I
done
get the
with it.
picture.
It makes the
Actually,
dialogue
we bumped
feel
into the
so
H during the way
stilted.
Here.
He said something about conquering the whole cosmos.
All of it, huh? Nice of him to show a little self-restraint. Well, whatever he's planning, I'll send him running back across the sticks.
One of these days they'll actually
our
explain
Herc.
how these worlds actually work. But for now we just kind of wave away any weirdness and just say that we don't know the rules, right? Yeah. Okay, so also for added difficulty, I'm just gonna say this right now. We're going to do as much as we can in this run. Now, I will say that there is always a chance that I just don't continue playing the run, because this will be insanely difficult. But at a fundamental level, part of our goal is to do everything. We're not going to buy any equipment. We'll find it all. You can just open it up. Treasure chests. Let's stuff apparently. Oh no, someone has new abilities. Probably Hercules. Yeah. Also, I like that your party size isn't maxed to 3 on here. I'm guessing that on the PS2 that was more of a technical limitation than they really just only wanted there to be 3. I imagine that was a technical thing. But I am really happy that they got rid of it. Okay, higher abilities still flagged as new. I'm not looking. I didn't mouse over Donald's or cursor over. That's a little weird. Whatever. I am complete. I'm in full ramble mode. It's great. I'm going to ignore all the. I'm not going to worry too much about collecting treasure at this point.
Is there a reason you guys are visiting?
Until I
I'm
have access to the
guessing
camera.
It's not just for the cheese and olives.
Oh yeah.
Plus, a lot of the treasure chests in this particular area aren't accessible until after the city is saved anyway.
I just took my time remembering. Herc, I came here so I could ask you something.
Ask
Also,
me?
remember when Sora had an intelligence in
Do you
the triple
remember
digits?
The last time we were together? You were feeling down and out. How'd you get your strength
Back in Kingdom Hearts 2.
when you jumped in and
It was
saved
great.
Meg?
And then in Dream Drop Distance, at least the excuse for him being stupid was that he
All I
was
know is
dreaming.
that she was in trouble.
This game just doesn't have one.
Suddenly, I wanted to save her with
He's
all my
just
heart,
dumb.
But
That's it.
it's not like I could tell you how.
Oh man,
What's wrong?
all my strength is gone.
Also,
from me,
Sora's
too.
hair
That's why I
looks
need
so
you,
wrong
because I was
as the
hoping you might have a solution or something.
art style gets
sorry,
more
Sora.
realistic. I actually really don't understand why they changed art styles. The original art style for Kingdom Hearts did an amazing job of having both Final Fantasy and Disney characters exist in the same place and
Once
look
we've dealt
right.
with these
I
guys.
will say that while I don't like the character models as much, all of the Keyblades look really cool. Anyway, yeah, flow motion. That's not the right spell. That's what I meant to cast. Ow. Uh-oh. 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 I was too busy being on fire. I couldn't dodge. That's just so sad. Pants on fire, I guess. Call me a liar. You might think I would tire, but my energy's only going higher. Ow. Anyway, we're just gonna beat up some of these with some magic. Oh, Donald, you ate the MP balls, you jerk. Oh, I don't have any water spells to knock it out of that, so I'm just gonna run away. So I remember that doing a lot of damage on Proud. I imagine it just one-shots me on critical. Yep, sure does. That is a true statement about what it does. It just one-shots me. Hate it. Not sure how much longer I'm gonna be streaming. Probably not too much longer. Probably like another 10 minutes or so. Because this is kinda late for me. I should attempt to sleep. Going to try blocking that, and I stopped and then didn't hit square fast enough, and that's just sad. Okay. Let's try. Can I block, please? Okay, I need one of you to actually hit me. Anyone? No one. Okay. Okay, yeah, just spam magic for as long as I have magic. Keep moving just enough that those can't hit me. I honestly didn't even see that attack. That attack caught me by surprise. This is going to be a long game. A long game. But hey, we're gonna do our best. Right? Right. We're just gonna do our best and hope that that is good enough. I forgot that they couldn't be knocked out of that. Whoops. Let's see. Let me think of something else random to talk about. Had sushi today. That was good. It was yummy. That's all I've got. Or I get the one I want to. There we go. That's great. We're just gonna regret life for a second. Okay, I'm the only one left alive. Surely I can test out the guard thing now, right? Okay, that's actually pretty good. I liked that. The only downside is that now Sir Fire McFire is ready to light me up. I'm not okay with attempts to do that. Okay, actually, wait, I just realized. Right, slow motion. In a normal playthrough of this, slow motion isn't that useful, so I had forgotten that it could be, to be honest. But in this version, slow motion is useful. Imagine that. I honestly just forgot that flow motion was good. It was useful in this game. Because if you're playing normally, I never used it because it was never useful.
Okay.
Meg.
Boy,
Okay,
that
so
isn't so fun.
something to talk about
Not
here
with the
is
Heartless involved. We're just
I
lucky our
understand why
friend
they
showed
didn't
up.
have Phil
Well, what
talk.
do you know?
I get
Sora,
why.
Donald,
Because
Goofy.
in Japan it's a
Guess
big
I owe
thing
you a big thank you.
that they don't
Meg, you need to stay
reassign a voice
someplace
actor
safe.
after
We'll
death.
search the city
or something.
and make
Like,
sure
that's the
everyone
explanation I've
manages
heard.
to get clear of
So
the
I get
fire.
that.
Be
But
careful,
why not just
Wonder
remove
Boy.
Phil from the scene?
I will.
It's really awkward
you
for
guys in?
Phil's character
Of
to
course
just
we're
stand
in.
there and not say anything. He didn't need to be here. He could have
Break a
just
leg, then.
not been in the scene and it would have been fine. Then
Heroes.
it wouldn't have really affected the scene.
Phil, you should go with Meg.
Like, they could have just had him not be here. Just remove his model, change the scene slightly, and,
You gotta keep her safe.
you know, move on. Like, yeah. It was an awkward thing to have Phil still included after they made the decision to not have Phil talk.
Hey, I hear a voice.
From which way?
Over that way.
Sometimes I think about how some people will say, what's the
Oh no! There's a little girl.
So
caught
sometimes
in fire.
I'll hear people say
go.
things like,
Wait, running's too slow.
Then what's the other choice?
so I'll hear people say things like, in the Disney
Get on
universe,
that.
what's the difference between Goofy and Pluto? They're both dogs. They're both dogs.
Hope so.
Kind of.
Like this?
And to
That's
which
good.
I respond,
Now hold
what's the
on
difference
tight.
between you and a monkey?
Whoa! Hurt! Maybe we should.
You're both
I don't
monkeys.
think this is a good
You're both
idea.
primates, but clearly not the same. You never try and say that that was the same. That's the difference between Goofy and Pluto. It's the difference between you and a monkey. Pluto's really cool and definitely not a normal dog, but he is fundamentally still a dog, whereas Goofy is a dog person. Completely different.
No prob. We better check and see if anyone else needs us.
Okay, yeah, let's go
If it
around
isn't
helping
Sora
people.
and the king's pawns.
Huh? Maleficent! Pete!
I'm sure they're up to
Are you
good.
the reason the Heartless are here?
Can we talk about how there's an entire subplot that's purely looking forward at the next game inside of this game?
I don't know about his sidekicks, but Kid Keyblader here looks way putier than the last time we saw him.
Also, people will keep saying that Sora's a lot weaker, but like,
Waste no
I don't
time,
feel
old
that much
boy.
weaker.
He's inconsequential. We have a far more pressing matter to attend to.
Oh, we got to find that black box.
thanks,
Be
Pete, for telling
silent,
us
you
your plan.
fool.
I really appreciate it, Pete.
As
It's
for
really
you
nice
three,
of you
we
to
shall
tell us
meet
exactly
again
what you're
when
what
I
you're
have
doing,
time
Pete.
for such trifles.
Like, I really do appreciate it.
And you's better get your act together before then. Later, twerps.
Wait!
Can we talk about how awkward their relationship is? Because there was a point at which Maleficent and
fine.
Pete
I
did
can
the
take it.
self-sacrifice play for the gang,
Gosh,
and
it sure don't sound like it.
after that they never
Dude,
really
keep
addressed
saying
that.
mean
They just
things
kind of
bother
went
you?
back to being evil
It's
to
fine.
like
I can take it.
they just went back to being evil, and Sora went
We
back to
know
hating
you.
them.
You can take
And
it.
it's never been mentioned
Don't
again that they
say
did that.
Oh, I just said what he said.
I can take it.
Like, they just never addressed it again. Also, I do like the little Herc statues. I think they're pretty cool. They're a nice touch. There's a lot of details in this game that didn't really need to be there. Like, I think it's cool they were included. But, okay, so I have the dash. Don't have the jump, but I do have the attack. Okay. Just confirming what I can do out of that. And I think that that is all for today. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you all whenever the next time I stream is. Maybe tomorrow? Maybe next week. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.